So, very recently, a few days ago to be more precise, on the 28th of February 2019, they actually made a 2-year anniversary for a game called Horizon Zero Dawn. If you did not know, it was a brand new IP from Guerrilla Games. Usually they're known for making games for Killzone, and now they have made it a completely new innovation, a new step into the gaming franchise. I think anyway, because I actually think that they did a better choice of taking a break from Killzone and going to a completely brand new IP. If you did not know, first of all, Guerrilla Games, they have mentioned that they're in the development of making 2 games. One of those is definitely going to be a Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or it's a sequel, wherever it's going to be named at. Basically a sequel, and one other little game we do not know yet. Perhaps maybe it's the next continuation from the Killzone series, or a completely brand new IP once again, or maybe they are just helping out one of those other studios. I don't know. This is just an prediction, so to say. Anyway, so I wanted to dedicate this video of saying what I would love to see in Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequel, and one of those things, for example, I want to get into. Well, not one of, more than that, obviously. So I would like to see a better optimization, a better side of characters that are orientated as a side quests. Okay, this is, I personally think, after when you complete the missions, you complete the quests, right? The main quest, the quest I'm talking about now. And so you can continue on from anywhere point of the game, even when you finish, and so you can go and finish those, whatever you want to do with the game. And especially, I really did think that a lot of the quests were really good, and up to degree, in fact, up to the Witcher 3 or Wild Hunt. But it did not get there. That's the problem. I personally think that they need to go higher up, or maybe up to the degree of the Witcher 3 or the Red Dead Redemption 2, or even higher, if that's possible, obviously. I can't exactly make out points and say that character or that specific character was bad, so he needs to do this. I'm obviously not a game developer. I personally would not be able to tell you exactly what could be done about it. So I can't exactly get into this conversation, unfortunately. Maybe you could tell me down in the comments what you think needs to be fixed or improved or even added on top. One other thing as well, for example, weapons, right? Don't get me wrong, Horizon Zero Dawn did have a few of good, variety of different weapons, and they all look substantially different. And sure, there are a lot of crossbows or flickering things wherever, right? And they all pretty much do different sort of things. I personally think that they were somewhat of a lacking in, interfere from those, because you only would be concentrating on one of the best weapons, and that's all you needed to go by, right? So basically, a lot of stuff that were not used, they were never used, and that was a little bit of a problem. Get rid of those weapon specifics, or maybe just put them in a vault, cook them up, make them better, or maybe innovate completely new things on top, right? They don't need to be exactly completely new weapons, but give us a choice of more weapons to use and utilize, so we have other means of necessity of how to take down one specific enemy in front of us, or maybe put out a better trap layout that would actually do more damage, or somehow prevent those enemies from moving. Obviously, Horizon Zero Dawn already has done many of these things. Already done it, so they have. But I'm talking about go into a higher degree. And do you hear what I'm saying right now, guys, as well? Because I'm only mentioning the stuff that can be improved and utilized even more, because the game was already that good that doesn't really need to be, completely taken away, if that makes any sense. What's not broken, why fix it? You know what I mean? So one other thing I would perhaps like to get into the landscapes of the game, right? It is indeed very breathtaking. It is very, very beautiful. Even all the NPCs looked identical, and unfortunately, sometimes in those settlements. And that's my point. Make the variations of the NPCs a little bit different to what they look like. Don't get me wrong, in one settlement, that's the problem here. In one settlement, a lot of the NPCs look somewhat, I'm not saying exactly, somewhat identical to each other. If you go to a different settlement, then you will encounter with completely new NPCs as well, and how they dress up, their characteristics, and perhaps even their accents. And I like that personally, and it's really cool. So I would say make a bigger settlements and variations from them. It's important. Like, I think that could really work and just makes the game, or how should I say, Horizon Zero Dawn more beautiful in that regard. And I think it may actually work pretty well for this game. Aha, yes. Now, I do want to mention that Horizon Zero Dawn already had lots of enemies and lots of means of taking them down as well. There were a lot of variations, for example, flying birds. Just an example, right? Some big ass giraffes that you can just, take the climb all the way to the top. Oh yes, climbing, that needs to be improved, Jesus. And yeah, so basically you need to go on the very top of the giraffe looking dinosaur. I forgot the name, my apologies, it's been a while since I played Horizon Zero Dawn. So yes, and override them so you can actually see which path they take and how far they have seen the layout of the map. That's awesome. I like that innovation. One of the biggest problems I saw in Horizon Zero Dawn that I was like a little bit disappointed. We can't exactly fly birds. I want to, that's the thing, in the sequel I really want to see Horizon Zero Dawn as a sequel, as Aloy actually mounting on the birds and flying across and traversing through the map and just seeing from the top side. Now that would be awesome. One of the things as well, for example, maybe have our dinosaurs able to use more weaponry. For example, if you're mounting them, you can command the weapons and shoot whatever you like. Make sure that we can't just go on a little mounts and birds. I'm talking about big mounts as well, like an elephant-sized mounts. For example, a sawtooth, I believe so, one of those very spectacular looking dinosaur-esque, so to say. I do want to go on mounting on those, and we can actually utilize them into whatever means necessary to use their weapons against the enemy that we need to take down, for example. Sure, it might sound a little OP, but obviously Guerrilla Games, the developers themselves, I'm sure they're gonna find somehow some kind of limitations that we don't overexploit it, so we don't end up just going through breeze of all the missions by finding one of those creatures, taking it down, or maybe pulling them down out of the commission so we can override them and take over them. Obviously, for that to get there up to this degree, we need to be going down further down the line of the unlockables and perks and skills that we can have near the end game. But here's the thing as well, end game, very, very important, I personally think. Have Aloy have a little more robust end game. So basically, if you did not know, Horizon Zero Dawn does emphasizes on the rarities and the stuff that we can implement into our weapons, our bows and arrows, and so much more. I think they need to take a step further, take a more RPG side of things. I'm not talking about obviously humans. Fuck humans. Humans, they can stay the same as they were. I think they're just fine. Personally. Now I'm talking about the dinosaurs and the wildlife and robotic stuff. I think they need to be a little bit more towards the RPG sides. But, this is important, but, don't take it as a simplistic RPG like, what was that little game called? Far Cry New Dawn does? Because that would be ridiculous. For example, a creature is much tougher than you are, and he's pretty much immortal compared to you. Like, he's immune. You shoot him, he's immune. You can't do anything. No, don't do that. Whatever means necessary, if that enemy is legendary, whatever, and you're not, and you're like level 1 or 2, you can still take him down, whatever you have, but obviously it will take a lot more than that. And so this is why we need to be upgrading our weapons. Have a little bit perhaps on the RPG side. That's just an opinion. You might think that I'm completely wrong. Maybe you would not want to see that. Maybe you want to have it somewhat of a similar approach as did Horizon Zero Dawn, and maybe you want to see no difference at all for this. But, I'm not arguing. It's just a preference. So yeah, I think that's all there is to it. I have made my own somewhat of a wish list for the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, or whatever the name is going to be. That's actually interesting. Here's the comment. Please tell me down in the comments, what do you think the sequel of the Horizon Zero Dawn should be named as? Horizon 1 Dawn? Horizon Upper Dawn? Anyway, I don't know. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Also, please do consider donating on my subscriber star or GoFundMe page. Links down below in the description. Take a look at my Twitter. It is at ZeraiYT, and I will see you all later.
You cashed in on my